Hi, good afternoon, good evening, actually. Once again, welcome back to the Living in Grace Facebook Live series, where every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, myself, I'm Mai Nguyen, along with Dr. Anlan Nguyen, best-selling author of the book Living in Grace, Live Your Best Life Now. And we come together to share about the grace framework and how it has transformed so many lives. And we are also here to share with you some practical tools as well too. So before we get into the discussion for today, I just want to say hi, Dr. Nlan, how are you?
Hello, Mai, and hello, everyone. Again, I'm back. We are back to the Tuesday Facebook Live, and I'm so excited to share with you the great news that our Grace Foundational course is officially sold out.
That's right. Yes. So you must be doing very well and you must be very excited as well, right?
I'm so excited about the class, and the reason why it was sold out, just a week, more than a week after we launched the class, it was because of our partnership with a very important organization, the FloLife team, and they have a beautiful mission to provide a way to a community to support the community in terms of life skill development, in terms of emotional intelligence, emotional resilience, how people can shift their limiting belief and truly connect it with their authentic self so that they can have the best life now. And the Grace model is perfect for that needs, and that's why we're so happy to see a lot of members of the FloLife team has partnered with us and actually become participant for this class. And I'm very excited to welcome all of these members, and I look forward to a long-term relationship with the FloLife team to serve the Canadian communities.
Yes, thank you for that message. Well, there you go. So, of course, as Dr. Nlan mentioned, today we are celebrating a big milestone since the launch of the Grace Foundational course, where within, I believe, 10 to 15 days launching, the course was sold out. And of course, without the support and the collaboration and partnership with FloLife team, it wouldn't be the case, but we are so excited for that. And so I wanted to get into today to perhaps talk a little bit more about, maybe the why Flow Life and Grace have decided to come together. I think there's a lot of synergies and there's a lot of kind of there's some values. There's a lot of
Mhm.
values that are aligned that kind of lead us into working together to launch this course. And then we wanted to get right into what can someone who's new to Grace, never even heard of Grace, can expect to get once they attend the course. Okay, so based on what I know of the Flow Life team and what Dr. Lam mentioned before, I mean, there's a team of entrepreneurs that have gone through a lot of different challenges themselves in life. And we're talking about challenges that could be, mental challenge, could be health challenge, and some of them are very detrimental challenge. And, they have shared, I actually am honored to personally know some of them, and they have shared that without them accessing to their inner strength and through programs and courses or through different healing modalities that they never even knew existed before, without that they would have not been able to survive or to be the person they are today. And they feel that why is it that there's so many people out there suffering, yet there's not enough it's not that there's not enough programs and talents or coaches or people. It's just people don't know that there exists this other realm of courses, of modalities, of healings. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to always take medication or it leads to depression, or leads to worse, we all know what, if we leave some of these, I guess, health issues or just different challenges we have in life where we don't take care of them, it can lead to so many things. And they felt that there's so many amazing programs like the Grace Foundational course, yet the average individual do not know about it. And I think this is why they decided to create this organization. It's a very new organization, but they have a great vision and a great mission, is just to really help everyone by accessing and introducing to everyone these courses that are providing life skills that can drastically change people's life. Yeah.
And I also want to add is that during the pandemic, which is like we are in it right now, it's
Mm-hmm.
not over. The challenge for everyone is even bigger. Like even
Mm-hmm.
before the pandemic, we already been challenged. Then throughout the pandemic, coping with the uncertainties, we coping with isolation, we coping with a lot of like the lockdown situations and the downturn economy and lots of people losing jobs. All of that combined together, we can say that everyone now is in a really tremendous high level of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Like stressful, and coping with uncertainty would be anxiety, with a lot of worries. So right now it is a really good time to truly help other people to actually learn how to practicing grace so that you can manage your emotions to the right level. It is all about like we discussed before, like our lives is basically the experience of the emotions as we go through the days. Basically it's that is all about our emotions. And where our emotions coming from, they are coming from our thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't practice self-awareness, we would normally, our thoughts are based on our paradigms, our mindset. And the paradigm is the set of beliefs that we basically form from when we were really young until about the age of 35. And if we don't pay attention, we just do the same thing. We just have the same thoughts. And the neuroscientist has said that 90% of your thoughts are the same as the previous day. So if you don't do anything, it keep continuing. And if you are caught in a vicious cycle of being depressed, of being sad, of being worried, guess what? It will continue and you will, end up with chronic disease. So another alternative would be, how can you take back your life? How can you take back the ownership of your thoughts, your emotions, and that would be in a result would be your actions. And that's what Grace Foundational class will offer.
Yes, I agree. And I think both, great through the Grace Foundational course, as well through the Lyceum Global Community, right, and
Mhm.
through as well from FloLife community. What I know is that a lot of us, we talk a lot about having this gentle, holistic approach where it kind of encompasses um, that gentleness part of life that sometimes we take for granted and we feel so hopeless. But I think once you touch into that and you're more aware of it, you feel more empowered, you feel like you're more resilient, and you feel more aligned with your true purpose of what you're here. And I believe this is why the Grace Foundational course is so powerful, right? So I'm so excited about the course. Yes, I'm very excited about the course, as you all can see, which I'm sure Dr. Atlantis and some of the other coaches that will be uh, helping and supporting everyone that's taking the course. I'm sure is very excited, right? Because I know that for myself, it's gonna be a journey where I get to be part of the team, but I also get to be to be a student and to really immerse into the practice of it and to really take the time. It's like 7 weeks of reflecting on your life and of just, being able to zoned into areas that you have that are actually challenging. But now that I mentioned that, I am curious to ask you, Dr. Nlan, is from someone who doesn't know anything about grace
Mhm.
and decided this sounds kind of cool, this sounds kind of interesting. What should they expect then after taking and enrolling in the course?
Okay. So each of us has a different set of challenge, right?
Hmm.
And I can say even the happiest person in the world still have some needs. If not challenge, then needs. There's some needs that has not been fulfilled and you still want to have something. So if you sign up for the class, I would ask you the first question would be, what are some of the areas in your life that you are not happy with and you want to have some change? That's the first question. And
You
then,
asked me?
yeah. And then, because as a student, you can say, and a second question would be, what are some of the challenge? Like it can be either the challenge or some area you want to improve. If you don't have any challenge, you're happy where you are, but there's always some voice inside us saying that we want to be better, right? We want to improve. We want to be better. So
Mhm.
my question would be, what are some of the areas that you want to improve, or what are some of the challenges that you want to resolve? And let's just imagine that, okay, you are a student, then you share with me and I'll tell you how the grace can help you, how grace class can help you.
For sure. Well, first off, I want to say I agree with you. I mean, the fact that I'm taking the course, there are areas in my life I want to improve. And I totally feel that, the reason why people want to enroll in the course is I'm sure there are things they want to learn, but they want to, elevate their life to the next
Mhm,
level. So, of
mhm.
course, and you're right, I am generally a very happy person and I feel like everything's great, but I know there's lots of room for improvement as well. So for myself, one of the things that I want to improve is I find that one of the challenge is that I'm always on like go, go, go. And I always I have a high expectations of myself and I like to compare myself. And I have this huge vision, of myself with like long list of to-dos. No, sorry, not to-dos, but long list of things I want to become and act I
Goals,
want it.
long list of
Yeah.
goals. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it kind of makes me stressed out actually when I'm not able to hit those goals yet. And I look around, and you know how we like to compare ourselves.
Yeah.
So one aspect of my life that I wanted to just find ways to create more joy and just take that worry away. Definitely, I want to create more success as a professional as well too. I want to have success in life in overall with my families, having more time with my children. So definitely. So now that I talk about it, there's many things I want to improve.
So let me recap first before I forget. So the first thing that you mentioned would be you want to um, you want to actually find more joy, less stress, because you are a
Yes,
high achiever. So you
yes,
always doing a long to-do list with
yes,
a lot of different goals, and it always stress out yourself because you feel that you don't have enough time to achieve all the goals at the time that you given yourself, right? So
that's
that is
right. Yeah,
the first would be stress out because of your high achiever spirit. You
yeah,
always achieve, and you tend to do that, so you go nonstop, continue to achieve, and then sometimes you set so many goals and it calls you stress out. So that's the first thing I'm hearing. And second, the second one, you see, when you say a lot, I forgot about the second one. Is that the second one is about how to improve something? Can you?
yes, yes. So the first one is about my professional, and the
Oh,
second one,
relationships.
yeah, relationships with my family. So just be able to
Okay.
improve my relationships.
Okay, so for those two, so the first one, what I'm hearing is, I guess it's the same symptom for all young professional entrepreneurs, especially serial entrepreneurs. right? Because when you have like multiple stream of work stream, multiple stream of incomes, and you have to really focus because like you are on your own, so you have no room for kind of like, okay, I can fail and then I can pick up, but you set a high standard in some order to achieve. So all of that, uh, then when you practice grace, it help you to slow down, and it help you to gain absolute clarity on what are the most important things that you can focus in a particular month, particular quarter, or particular year, so that you can get the most out of the time that you invested. Like you can have like 10 different things or 20 different things, right? And it's all important to you. But there should be only about 1 to 3 top things that you cannot live without. And sometimes as a high achiever, we tend to just go achieve everything. You see a shining object, you go after it. You see another shining object, you go after it. And before you know it, you ended up with like 10 paths to 10 shiny objects. And you never forget, you never come back and ask yourself, among all of these 10 shiny objects, which one that make me happy most? Which one that will make me most joyful? And the class, like you're going through the grace program, it will force you, because there will be exercise, there will be things, sometimes you will be pushed by the coach. We also have 3 other certified emotional intelligence coach working with me to serve the students. And it's going to be a really interesting discussion. So basically, you're going through the... Oh, somehow we have some feedback.
Sorry, yes. I think there's a background of our video, but it just came up on my screen.
Okay. So that would be the first, answer to your first challenge, right? The first challenge. The second one about relationship, the grace is all about your heart. So the whole program is surrounded on the principle that the heart is the most important, not just important organ, but important factor in your life. And it's not just a pumping machine. Basically, neuroscientists already demonstrated that the heart does have the whole operating system, and it does communicate with the brain. And actually, the heart was formed before the brain was formed. So your heart is precious. And guess what? We as a human being, we only use about 1% of the potential of the heart. So by practicing grace and throughout the 7 weeks, we will share with you some practice. And actually, we did not create this. We learned this from a very long-standing institution that's famous on the research on the heart. It's called Heart Math Institute. And there will be some principles you use to anchor on your heart. And guess what? When you anchor on your heart, you practice loving, empathy, kindness. And there will be way that you build on the daily habits. And when you practice in it, it totally changed the relationships in your life. And I have seen so many cases where my student came back and told me their life totally changed because they practiced the principle 100 0 that we will at the class. So those are, those coming in the class, the course with the intention of improving their relationships, they were coming out of that with a whole bunch of different strategies and practice, and even they already create some habits that will help them toward that goal. Does that answer your question?
Yes, that sounds amazing. So I'm sure, like you said, everyone that comes into the course has a different challenge and different needs, right? And I'm still in awe actually by how affordable you've set it, because I have actually participated in quite a few courses that are in the thousands of dollars, that definitely have, have improved, and a lot of them are personal development courses has improved. But I see how like simple, but I'm sure it's not so always easy to do. It requires us to put in the work in as well too. But I see, the Grace Foundational course, but I see everything that you've been doing behind the scene.
Mhm.
And that is why I'm so excited to be able to be a student as well, is because I see all the work that you and the coaches are putting behind the scene to put together, from all the activities, all the interactions, all the live coaching sessions, the workbooks, everything. And I'm so like eager to just be able to dive into it, because I mean, for the value of how much you're charging, $197 USD, and what someone can really use to transform their life, I'm very excited. I feel that for those that are really, willing to put in the work, they will see huge transformation. Yeah.
Yes, and that explain a little bit on the mission of Lyceum Global. As you know, that I stopped working on a corporate work that gave me a six-figure income to go
Mhm.
into the nonprofit sector. And the first year, I didn't take the salary at all. And right now, I take like less than minimum salary for professional, because I want to serve. And all the course fee that going to Lyceum, it will go into the nonprofit, so that we can deliver more programs to serve for the youth empowerment and youth leadership programs. So in order for us to make it affordable, and the key thing is, how can we provide access to many people? And
Mhm.
we want my dream, and I hope that FloLife team will partner with me to help me to achieve my dream, because my dream is building a community of 1,000 grace coaches that can serve people from around the world
Mm.
in such a way that is accessible, is not too expensive, and is really tailored according to each culture of the country, and also is tailored to the needs
Mhm.
of each community. There is so much work for us to do if we can work together to promote, again, the heart. So when all of us come with our heart open. Now,
Mhm.
normally, do you think that your heart is open when you meet a new person? Probably not, right? Like, we always had the guard. We all,
No, I think life has taught you,
yeah,
to be a little bit
we
aware.
are taught not
Yeah.
to trust other. So basically,
Yeah.
in order to have a heart to heart connection, it takes some work. And grace mindset helping us to
Mhm.
anchor on our heart. First, in order to connect with others, you have to connect with yourself first. Because if you cannot even connect to yourself, then how can you connect with others? Because your heart is not open even to
Mhm.
yourself. And everybody can say, how come I'm not connected to myself now? There's a lot of people who are not connected to themselves because they are sad. They don't want to live anymore. They feel all the burden around them, and they feel that there is no way out. They feel so powerless. When you feel powerless, it means that you're not connected to your heart, because your heart is enormously strong. Your
Mm.
heart has an enormous strength inside that had a solution for any problems or any obstacle in life to help you to overcome. And you mentioned with me that a lot of people in the Flow Life team, they have encountered hardship in the past and they overcame it because they were connected to their heart. They actually anchor. They might not know, but going now, reflecting, and when they go through the class, they will see for those moments when they bounce back, it was because of the power from within them. It's not from outside, it's from the within themselves. And every one of us as a human being, we have that power, but not many are able to anchor on that power. So in order to use grace, habits, and the mindset, you will be able to connect with your true self. And again, that is the key for happiness. If you are living a life that is driven by somebody else's agenda or somebody else's needs and wants, then you will feel either, not worthy, or you feel very pathetic, like you don't feel any joy because it's not you. It has to
Mhm.
be your true self. Each
Mhm.
of us born differently, like there's a friend of mine, she loves number. She born to be an accountant, and if you put her in some other situation, she would be so miserable, but when she work with numbers, she happy, right?
Mhm.
But for me, if I have to work with that number, I would die very soon. Like I'm not, even I'm good at math, but I couldn't handle, the day-to-day job that could just focus
Mhm.
on number only. You see,
Yeah,
so each of us is programmed differently. Like,
that's right. I totally agree with you. Math is one of my best courses. I am top of the line, but I cannot do a job if that's all I do every day.
yeah, so
And
each of us has different how you say, uniqueness.
yes.
And I would say, in my book, I call it the grace lady or the grace gentleman, and that exists right here. But how many of us always access it? Not right, not really. And going through the course, we will share with you some of the strategies that if you practice daily, you will be able to anchor on your grace, and from your grace you will become invincible. Like
Mhm.
life can be very up and down, but somehow you would manage to go through. And that's why the court is so important for younger generations, or for even like older generations, because each of us, when we go through life, we face different challenges. So for the people who turn 60, 70, they have a different set of challenges compared with the people who turn 30 or 40, right? So each of us has different challenge, but the solution is the same. You anchor on your race, and you practice emotional intelligence, you practice self leadership, and you just practice the 5 values of grace, you will become invincible.
Yes, yes. Well, I know that we definitely have shared quite a bit, but I think once again, the best examples of, like you said, of really the impact of this course is all the lives that we touch that eventually will become also grace coaches that can also touch on the lives of others. For me, I have to say, even though I haven't formally taken a full entire grace course, but just through association, working with you as my coach and just being part of the community, I can already see, my life and my attitude and just myself changing through the past, over the past, I think over a little bit over a year and a half or 2 years, right? And I mean, I have been I've taken a lot of personal development course, but I love the grace framework and how simply put it is. It's very deep though, and it requires practice daily. And so I am, very excited about the future grace coaches that will be able to impact other people's lives, but also the fact that it probably impact their lives to be
Yeah,
able to be a
absolutely.
coach. Yeah, to be able to be a coach and to be able to transform someone else's life is a blessing and is an honor in its own. And I know that that will help. Maybe there are many people out there that are waiting for a framework that would kind of be aligned with their values. Maybe coaching is what they've been called to do, but they haven't taken that step yet.
And
And
I want to add on that coach perspective, because I'm a coach, right? So I practice coaching for the last 3 years. I coach like hundreds of people. And to be a good coach, you have to be yourself first. So to be
Mm-hmm.
a good coach, you really have to connect with the great lady or the great gentleman inside of you. Because if you are not at your best, how can you connect with the other person?
Mm-hmm.
Only through the heart to heart connection between you and your client that you truly bring out, bring out the energy that help the client to truly transform or truly change. And
Mm-hmm.
it requires a lot of loving,
Yes.
caring, hand holding, that is patience. But the best way, we have to be good first, right? How can you love other people if you don't have the love yourself? And most
That's
of us, we go through life sometimes, especially for Asian women. I don't know about others, but I can say for Asian women, we focus so much on the well-being of the whole family. If we're still single, we live in our family, then our parents, our sibling, we focus so much. And if we are married, then it's our husband, our children. We will pay attention to ourselves at the least, right? We
Mhm.
are the least person to that we pay attention. So practice self-love and self-care is just like so much needed. But how many of us can tell we practice daily, right?
Mhm.
So that is an area that it's just like a reminder for everyone, including the coaches or non-coaches or people just to want to be better, to have a better life. Then it will remind you that you have to practice that self-love. Like you have to fall madly in love with yourself
Mhm.
before you can love others. And from loving others, loving yourself, loving others, that is where you can make the community, the family you live in become in a much better place. It's all start with the heart.
Mhm. Yes. Thank you for sharing that and for the reminder. And I think with that, we just want to wrap up this evening. Not sure if you have anything else you'd like to share before we say goodbye.
Yeah, I just would like to sincerely thank for all the supporters, especially all of those who sign up for the class, for the Grace Foundational courses. I look forward to meeting all of you. And again, the next 7 weeks going to be wonderful, and it requires not just the instructor or the coaches but also on the learners, and together we form a community that we will impact each other. We are learning from you as much as you are learning from us, and I look forward to working with each of the learners so that together we can build a strong community that practicing the five value of grace. And I cannot wait. So thank you so much for your support. That's just a little message that I want to send to all the people who sign up for the course, especially for the FloLife learners, FloLife team, and participants.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Enlan. And thank you so much to everyone that are watching tonight. We are very excited. The launch of the course is on Monday, April 5th. That's where we officially will have all the first week of the course content
Yes,
up.
but
Yes,
before that, please make sure that you log in and conduct
yes,
assessment, because we have a kind of baseline assessment to measure your well-being. So we want
yes,
to see where are you right now before you taking the course in terms of
yes.
your well-being. So it's an assessment from a very famous institution. It's free, and you can get it so that you can get a baseline. And then after 7 weeks working with us, working with Grace, we hope that your well-being will change. So we will ask you to do another assessment at the end of the course so that we can see the score before and after the class to see if it makes some impact. And I cannot wait to work with each of you in the course upcoming.
Yes, thank you. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining in with us tonight. And we will see you if you join the course, and we'll be seeing a lot of you throughout the entire course program in our private group, our private Facebook group or forum, as well as our private group coaching sessions. If you didn't get a chance to sign up, then you can still continue to follow us, and we will be continuing to do this weekly Facebook Live, so we continue to share different ways that you can still apply the GRACE framework while you're at home as well too. So thank you, and we'll see you next week.